Hi, welcome to Stream Fiends. I'm Nat.
I'm Kate.
And today we're going to be talking about American Playboy, available now on Amazon Prime.
I'm Hugh Hefner. You may think you know all about me. The magazine, the mansions, the parties, the women. But you don't know the half of it.
American Playboy is a docu-series by Amazon. It's about Hugh Hefner, and the way that they set it up is that it's spliced with real footage and acting. So it's real life and it's fantasy.
I would argue that it's actually not a documentary. They definitely are marketing it as a docu-series. There are documentaries that have reenactments, and there are documentaries that use combinations of different media. But the thing that really settles it for me is that there is voiceover narration that is not from Hugh Hefner, but it's in first person as if the actor is Hugh Hefner.
Right.
So I gave Art Paul the task of designing it.
So it's really more of like, I think, a biopic that splices in actual real life footage.
Agreed. It is not marketed that way, but that's the reality.
Right, but they're lying.
They're
is
lying.
What I'm saying. I'm saying they're
Amazon's
lying to you.
Lying.
It's definitely sort of a rose-tinted glasses approach to Hugh Hefner's place in the world. Make him seem more modern than he really is.
Yes, absolutely. Because he sets this up as like, I was groundbreaking. Sex should be talked about openly, and which I agree with, but I don't think that he was that forward-thinking.
In the opening of the pilot, when they're sort of setting up what's going to happen in the whole series, they say it's not just about sex, it's also about social justice. And they cut to a picture of Martin Luther King and then Malcolm X. And it's like, you are trying to put yourself in some pretty good company.
Yeah.
There's a huge contrast in the quality of the narrative versus the quality of the cinematography or the costume design or things like that. And I think you see that with a lot of these streaming shows, which is, it's just not that compelling at its core.
I agree. And I think that's the problem with this show, is that there's not a compelling narrative driving it forward, which is surprising because I think the story of Hugh Hefner could be told in a really interesting way.
Yeah, the first 3 minutes makes it seem like there's going to be a lot of sex and a lot of nudity and a lot of drama, and it's really a lot of details about how you start a publication in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like investor tips and some very bad acting.
Oh my God. Yeah, some really bad acting. It was reminiscent of reenactments in crime scene shows.
600.
600.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Also, the lead actor who plays young Hugh Hefner is an actor from New Zealand, and his American accent sounds like an alien trying to pass as human to me.
I think that's a mark of how kind of terrible this show is that I didn't even notice that.
He sounds like Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black. Like he's just like, I'm glad I wanted.
Every time someone picks up a copy of Playboy,
It means worlds to me.
And then they cut to Hugh Hefner, who has a totally different accent, and like his voice does not sound like that at all.
Oral sex was a major felony?
It would be way more forgivable if Hugh Hefner's voice wasn't constantly in the show.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of character development at all happening in this show.
You don't really see any sort of internal struggle with him. You don't see any duality there, I think.
You don't see any of that with any character in this show.
Well, there aren't really any characters in the show other than Hugh Hefner.
Oh man, this show is terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. The acting really was probably the thing that made it the most painful for me. I wouldn't watch it again probably because of that.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch much more of it. It's pretty poorly written. The exposition is over the top, and I have a real pet peeve for voiceover narration that tells you exactly what you're watching while you're looking at it.
A lot of them said no.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nat.
And this was Stream Fiends.